Yo, 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 what up, great people in all the land? It is your favorite homeboys once again. We got week 2. We got the Sunday night football overall bets coming to you live. We'll talk about that game as well. But obviously, we'll react to some of the week 2 games that just happened on your TV screens. If you've been living under a rock or, been doing chores all day, we can catch you up here. So me and John got you. If you ain't following us on Twitter, what are you doing? If you didn't like and subscribe to the channel, come on, help your people out, help your favorite homeboys out, take this to another level. But yeah, we're gonna go into first things first, man. Johnny, I know you're dying to talk about the Joe Burrow injury impact that we got going on because turf toe, where Brock Purdy just is gonna miss anywhere from 2 to 5 weeks. Is that gonna be the same timeline for Burrow now? If so, Browning threw 3 interceptions, and somehow the Bengals still won this game against the Jags late, 30-27. Obviously Jamar Chase was Jamar Chase. Chase Brown, not Chase Brown. T. Higgins had an all right game. Jacksonville, a few pieces came alive. I talked about De'Ami Brown as someone that was an unofficial guy I was betting on. He easily hit that along with a touchdown today. But in terms of the game for the Jags and the Bengals, and then overall the Burrow injury impact, what are your thoughts?
Sucks to be the Bengals for sure. I'm not a doctor, so obviously don't know what the impact as far as a timeline is for him or anything like that. But it looked like today, Jake Browning, he's done this before, with this group of guys as well. So he's not in unfamiliar territory, right? And I think the thing for us, we just got to remember is it's fantasy football. So whether the Bengals win or whether they lose, that's kind of irrelevant. It's just about the stats. Obviously, I think the guy that might be the most impacted might be Chase Brown. I think that's the guy right now. He was somebody that, people had shot up draft boards. Granted, 2 weeks in, but after next week, there's no longer. It's only 2 weeks. It's only 3 weeks. After next week, it's official. I don't want to say it's panic mode, but I think you have to start being a lot more aware of things. And Chase Brown hasn't really had one of those games that have popped for us yet. Jamar Chase talked about it this morning. Just a lot of how the Bengals just played a historically bad game last week against the Browns, and there was almost no way that they could play that bad of football again. And today, they didn't play that bad of football. Obviously, the Browning interceptions, whatever, nobody had it on their card that Jake Browning would be in the game today. So, yeah, man, it's crazy. And if you have Joe Burrow in season long, now you got to start thinking about either, Jake Browning or Mac Jones or, maybe even a Russell Wilson. As crazy as that sounds. Yeah, man. So I don't know, man. I think there's a lot of, obviously, for the AFC North, there's a lot of impact as far as that goes. But just overall, man, if you're a Joe Burrow owner, man, it kind of sucked today to see that.
Definitely. And, Browning at a quarterback, I'm not ready to panic on Chase Brown. He'll be fine. The only thing that really concerned me was, Chase Brown didn't get any, check down usage until, the end of the game. His first catch was, the last, 2 minute drill. So that's something that we'll have to watch out for, if anything else, because that will take away from his ceiling. I think as, the running back overall, he's someone that we could talk about, tomorrow as a buy low candidate because he played 95% snaps for Cincinnati. So the usage is not really concerning or whatever, obviously. It's just more about now, is it, again, will you get this check down work? Will they use him more as a receiving back? And then who will take a back seat? Because can Browning support, just one or two guys? Going back to when he was, spot starting the previous year when Burrow was out with the injury. Jamar Chase was borderline wide receiver, high-end wide receiver 2 when he got the volume, but when he didn't, he was a wide receiver 3. So the question is, how long is Burrow out for 1? And then 2, can Browning support, Chase, Higgins, Brown. You know what I'm saying? Can he support all three? Can he just support one? Like, that's something we'll just kind of have to find out in a way once again. But
10 for 120, 10 for 128 for Chase from Jake Browning.
Oh, yeah. He killed it.
So I don't think there's anything to worry about.
I'm just saying it's something that I'm not worried about it in terms of the moment in time now, because no one prepared for Browning being quarterback, right? That's just more about where teams will have to start preparing for Browning is where, like, all right, I'm not exactly worried about Ja'Marr Chase. It's just more about, can he support the other cast members in this offense? And does this offense that we had a high expectation for, does it come down a little bit because of Browning being the quarterback for the next several weeks? Just something.
Yeah, I mean, if it's season long, you're married to him, so you listen.
Right.
You there. You there for better or worse. You there for better or worse.
Unless you want to trade him, you know what I'm saying? So unless you want to trade Burrow. But yeah, you're for better or for worse, you're tied in the situation. Giants-Cowboys game. Malik Neighbors. Finally showing his face out there. Obviously, people were down a little bit on him when it came to coming into this one, but we weren't very nervous about Malik Neighbors at all. In terms of his production, he had 10 catches, 76 yards, and a touchdown. So, read the wrong page. He had 13 catches, 167 yards, 2 scores. That's my bad. And in terms of Malik Neighbors being a baller, come on now. We knew Malik Neighbors was going to be a baller. Cowboys, though, escape with the win at home. The over, oh my gosh, talk about the over-under, right? 40-37 final. Another crazy game that when it's overtime. And Cowboys just get the job done. Your boy GP came through late as well.
Yeah.
With a few catches and a touchdown late. So, yeah, like, your thoughts on this game? CeeDee Lamb, obviously, was a baller as well because he helped in the victory. 11 catches, 112 yards receiving. Yeah, I mean, look, Russ Wilson, you just mentioned him, you know what I'm saying? But Russ Wilson, Wilson cooked. Wilson cooked.
I don't even
450 through the air and 3 scores.
I don't even know what to say, man. Like, I don't know. That was that's not one that I had. I thought it would be
dangerous.
I thought it might have been like, all right, maybe like 250 or something. I think that's even what I said is maybe like 250 and maybe like 2 or 3 tutties. But he actually supports Malik Neighbors as Malik Neighbors hits a career high 37.7 PPR points in week 2. And so I think, you mentioned Malik Neighbors just overall, like everybody didn't feel the same way about him. There were drafts where people were letting him fall just because they were afraid of the quarterback situation, and they were afraid of the injuries as well.
Yeah.
But like he played through it last year, and interesting stat for him as well. In 16 of his 17 games, his career games, he's recorded double-digit PPR points. So I think it's time for people to start putting the respect on Malik Neighbors' name that they should. This Dallas Cowboys secondary, wow, is all I have to say. Wow.
Got flamed, got torched. You know
wow.
I mean, look, DaRon Bland was even if he played this game, it would have probably been somewhere in the same realm, in the same sense as what Russ Wilson did today. Because, we talked about how, before, how we expect the Cowboys defense to not really be, a defense in which is going to give you a ton of stops or, just going to give up a ton of, yardage. So this happened again today, and the Giants were a few plays off from actually taking this game on the road, especially in regulation, because, there was Russ Wilson threw he threw the interception in overtime, but there was still, when the Giants took the lead late, like they allowed the Cowboys to get in position, not once, but twice to hit, these field goals by Brennan Aubrey, who obviously we know he has a leg, but my goodness, like, how about coming through in the clutch for sure? As far as like other players for fantasy purposes in this matchup, is Russ Wilson someone you could trust?
Nope. Nope.
It's funny. Like NFL's so funny. You go out there, you go for 400 something passing yards, and then someone will still tell you suck.
I'm not saying he sucks. I'm just saying I'll let somebody else deal with him, man. That's I mean, he QB2 on the day, right? QB2 on the day as far as from the fantasy side of things.
So far.
Yeah, so far. You're right, so far. But yeah, like I will absolutely let somebody else have that headache with him. But I think like he showed it last year with Pittsburgh. I mean, there was a couple games where he had a few moments. And I think one of those moments was against the Bengals. So I think, right, like subpar defenses. That's what he does, man. He comes up, he plays, he shows out. He did that today, so shout out to him, man, for sure. But like I said, man, I'll keep saying that. The Giants aren't a pushover, man. Like they definitely aren't a pushover. So yeah, and then Wan'Dale Robinson, like can't go without talking about him as well. I think he was wide receiver 5 on the day. So again, a big day from all the Giants wide receivers overall, big day from the Giants pass catchers. It took Dak OT to get to a place where he was QB6. It took that for that to happen, because if it wasn't for that, it would not have happened. But I still think that offense looks a little bit shaky. Like I said, I love CeeDee Lamb today. He played decent. He had a solid game. But yeah, man, like for me, I still think the Cowboys, it's still shaky grounds for them, man. Offensively, Javonte looked good today too, man. Like he looked really good today, all things considered, man. So again, just a perfect game environment, man, for fantasy football managers across the world. So great game, fun game, great game for the NFL. So yeah, man, it was a fun one to watch.
Yeah, definitely was. From a fan's perspective, from an NFL fan's perspective, like what a back and forth game it was for sure. So I mean, look, you feeling Javonte Williams out for 2 weeks? Like, is he someone that you're targeting for a trade if you need like a flex play every week?
Yeah, I like him. I feel okay about having him now. Like at this point, I think we were just talking before we came on. Like, right, like who would you rather have right now in this moment? Would you rather have Javonte Williams or would you rather have Travion Henderson?
I know.
Would you rather have RJ Harvey or would you rather have Javonte Williams? Like, and so I think we just have to take everything at face value. And face value is right now Javonte is on the field and a part of an offense that no matter how we feel about them collectively, like they're going to get yards one way or another, whether it's through pass interference, et cetera, with George Pickens, or whether it's just, funneled to CeeDee Lamb. He's going to be in a position to be able to score fantasy points. So I don't hate Javonte. So, yeah, we're into week 2. And I think, if you have the opportunity to get him, I'm not quite sure where he finished it. He finished this week as RB4. So far. So it's kind of hard not to, man. So yeah, I'll sign up for that.
I guess we could talk about that tomorrow too.
Yeah.
I think there'll be some teams that overall are going to want to probably see what the value for Javonte Williams is, or what if you have Javonte, should you move him, stuff like that. He's someone that has to make the list for buy low, sell high. We'll get that started up for sure. Lions, boy, yeah, amazing what happens in 1 week, right?
Yeah.
52 points by the Detroit Lions today at home, cooking them up against the Bears as Lions eating the Bears, literally. Wasn't that close of a contest.
No.
Literally was, Chicago kept it close a little bit in the early game, but then it was smack those cheeks. But yeah, I mean, look, Amon-Ra St. Brown, I was trying to buy low on him everywhere and just couldn't get people to bite enough. So yeah, I mean, Amon-Ra St. Brown absolutely killed it today. And there's no you have him, yeah. You better ask your top dollar.
I mean, man, you trying to ask
top
for
dollar.
top,
You gotta get rid of him.
ask for top dollar. You better keep him in the house. Better keep him in the house, man.
11 catches, 115 yards, and 3 scores.
You gotta keep him in the house, man. Yeah, for real. It's that wasn't even the highlight for me. The highlight for me was Rome Odunze. I know the Bears lost, but Amon-Ra, we've seen this from him before. So this isn't unfamiliar territory at all. But for Rome Odunze, I think this is the start of something I think we can expect to see this type of performance or performances like this from him moving forward for sure. Last week, he got the work last week. He's got 11 targets this week for 128 yards and 7 catches. So yeah, man, like I didn't have a chance to get him as much as I wanted to in a lot of leagues. I have him in a few places. But overall, man, this guy, he's got a 56% target share versus man coverage. And that leads all wide receivers in the NFL so far through 2 weeks. So, like, obviously, if it's man coverage, Rome Odunze is there. My guy, Caleb Williams, is still getting him the ball. Caleb didn't play great today. I'll say that. But I think, again, like, overall, he's being able to support a high-end top-tier wide receiver. So I think there's still a lot more to be had. 2 tough division games to start off the season with the Vikings and obviously the Lions. So I think, again, man, more to come. I'm not ready to jump ship yet. However, Colston Loveland, a guy that, like, some people were starting to try to get excited about, not a lot to write home about. I don't even think he had a catch this week. So just some things to kind of keep an eye on just from that standpoint. And the Lions, man.
People to drop him this week.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked at all. Man. But yeah,
then he drops for Colston Loveland this week, and if you have an ability to stash him, you probably should.
Yeah.
But yeah, we talked about this in Chicago. It's like not everyone's going to be able to eat. Even DJ Moore had a crummy day today. So it's like I'm not your boy Caleb Williams, man. Like, you gotta give us a temperature read every week. Like, how you feel about him after the first 2 weeks?
I'm still in. Like, I'm not shaky on him at all, man. Like, I think the Viking situation. Yeah, man, these are 2 division games, man. They're 2 division games. And this is what it is, man, right? Like today, like Caleb Williams wasn't playing defense. Like they didn't lose the game because of him today. Like, it wasn't on him. Like they stunk on defense and they couldn't stop the run. That's essentially what it was. And then Jared Goff was able to, to take his shots the way that he wanted to, like we talked about, being at home. So, like, I mean, hey, man, it's the NFL, bro. Like, shit happens.
Definitely NFL. And talk about Rome Odunze. It's like, not that I didn't buy the talent on him. It was just, man, like, he was going in a range of, like, him or Ricky Pearsall, him or Deebo Samuel, him or it was just like, like, so for the first 2 weeks, I'm eating crow on Rome Odunze for sure. Maybe I'll go out there and trade for him, maybe, but we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'll poke around a little bit. Anyhow, next segment we're talking about, Tay Adams and the Puka show. Yeah, talk about the Titans being wrong on that. I was like, dang, Titans going to give them a fight, extend the third, whatever. Turns out the Rams just did the Rams things on the road. 33-19, the final. And Tay Adams over 100 yards receiving today, and feeling good about that because I have him in a couple of leagues. And with Puka Nacua, obviously, literally doing the same thing. These guys, we talked about them, and everyone kind of expected them to kind of, do their thing. But a 45-yard run by Puka Nacua was
to start the game. It's all dope except for if you're going against him,
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is
it's
great.
bad if you're.
I'm like, oh, this is how we're starting the week. I'm like, okay, like this is what it's gonna be.
Oh man, yeah, for sure. Pretty bad. But again, like, look, Stafford being Stafford, he looks healthy, he looks good. Adams, 13 targets on 6 catches for 106 yards. So the value you got for Adams probably very late third round, early fourth round, whatever. So far, so great when it comes to, at least for this performance. Week 1 wasn't as locked in there, but this week, obviously it was there. You started Adams, you did a great thing. I think in terms of how the pecking order goes, like, this makes sense from a like, all things considered. Like, Kyron had a somewhat shaky day today. He should have had a touchdown, in my opinion, in a few spots. It just didn't happen. So, yeah, 17 totes for 66 yards, 2 catches.
Blake Corum was getting run out there today,
and Blake Corum was getting run. So it remains me seeing how, I still think that Kyron's there's going to be better days for Kyron, and he could definitely get on the spot where you could buy him low on. The good news is the Rams don't have a bye week till week 8, so there's that. So I know we got a couple of teams coming in week 5 that their bye weeks coming and stuff, so just be on the lookout for that as well. But anything else to say before we move on to next?
No.
Yeah. All right, cool. Drake May. What day?
What do you say, May? What do you say, May?
Oh my goodness, yo.
Well, it's great news. There's great news in this situation. The Dolphins still stink.
Yep.
They still stink. The Patriots, they're not very good either. And the great news is the Patriots play the Steelers next week, so there'll probably be a shootout next week. But Drake May, so far QB4, a lot of people were on him to start the week for sure. I didn't get to any shares of him as far as DFS goes, but great day for him for sure. QB4 so far, and then Ramondre Stevenson. We were talking about that. Oh my
gosh, yep.
Ramondre Stevenson, still out there, and
still lurking around,
round 9, round 10, round 8.
He had 5 catches for 88 yards.
I am absolutely not shocked. He is.
I was not on my bingo card though in terms of receiving.
Listen, he was a pass catcher previously, so I know he has the ability to do it. Obviously, I had to start him in a couple of places. When you go full-blown 0 RB, you don't have much of a choice. So I'm not sitting here, taking victory laps on it. It's just hey, well, all right. I'll start him, and if I get 8 to 14 points with the receivers I got, it's cool. But yeah, definitely a big day for Drake May, definitely a big day for the Patriots. Being able to do something that even Tom Brady had a hard time doing, going down to Miami and getting a dub. And even this one was a tough one for sure. A couple Dolphins players did show up today. They did have a pulse on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, but they still suck on defense, so that does not change.
No.
So yeah, man, but definitely a big day for the New England Patriots and Drake May as he finished. And then Keyshawn Boutte, say what you want. He found pay dirt.
Yeah.
Hunter Henry was disappointing today, though, man. He was disappointing. And Steph Diggs
was.
Starting to get a little bit concerned there. But another topic for another day. But
just a little. We only have 5 targets. I think they're kind of. Is the usage going to be there for him? You wonder. You know what I'm saying? And at least early on until you're waiting for that week for Diggs, right? You're waiting for that week to be all right, he's gonna have 10 targets. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not shocked about it. Like I said it all off season. The Patriots are going to be chameleons. There's going to be weeks where it's going to be the tight ends. There's weeks where it's going to be the running backs. There's weeks where it's going to be different receivers. So if you have Steph Diggs, you just have to ride it out. If you have Travion Henderson, you just got to ride it out at this point, unless you want to be the trade guy.
Like I said, I still don't understand the Boutte thing. Still don't understand it. He caught a touchdown pass, but come on. Everyone's yeah, it's gonna be the week today. This is okay. Yeah, all right. Sure, keep that. We'll see what happens. But
yeah.
Mac Jones.
281-330. Man, I just want to tell you, I even thought about playing him in DFS, and I was like, no, you're getting too cute.
Well, it's easy to say that in hindsight, though.
No, because
easy to say that now.
They were on the ropes. It wasn't a bad day for him, man. It was a solid day for him. 279, 3 touchdowns. He doesn't give you anything as far as from the mobility side of things.
No.
The Saints,
solid day.
The Saints have been tough. They've been playing tough. So I will definitely say that, but yeah, man, just not. It is what it is, man. But they got the dub, and obviously, I think anytime in this situation that the Niners are in, just buys time for Brock Purdy. So if Mac Jones continues to win, it gives Brock Purdy time to kind of heal up. And is it safe to say that Mac Jones is the best backup quarterback in the NFL?
The best backup in the NFL. I don't know. I didn't think about that one. I'll say he looked decent. You know what I'm saying? But we'll just have to
It's not even about today. Like, it's just about his track record, literally over the last 2 years. Like, he's been. I feel like he's been the best backup quarterback in the league. But
remains to be seen. I mean, talk about last year with Jacksonville and stuff too. Yeah, I mean, he's been steady Eddie.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, 3 touchdowns through the air, beating the Saints on the road, 26-21. There were some things I like about the Saints side of things. Juwan Johnson.
Yeah.
Juwan Johnson, paying off for anyone that started him. And he was tight end needy because of a few of the injuries, and you weren't sure about Brock Bowers playing, stuff like that, whatever. 5 catches, 49 yards at a score on 9 targets. That's, again, it's a good thing. Spencer Rattler looked decent as well. There's just some waiting on the Olave game. He had 10 targets in this game as well. So there's things about the Saints team, like we've said before, like I said before, in terms of this offense is still, an offense is still going to churn plays. There's still going to be volume. There's still going to be usage to be had. So it's just all about making sure that you're, getting at least a small slither of that. Even Shaheed, popped up for a touchdown today. So yeah, again, all 3 of those guys, and then Kamara obviously too. Kamara got some check down work today. That was a good sighting because I was just a little bit curious to see how that was going to play out this week. And he had 21 carries today. So that was something I was like, I didn't expect that. Not 21 carries, but hey, Kamara
best player on the team, man. They're trying to win games. This is what it is, man. This is what it is.
So I think so. He's a semi buy low in my opinion. Because they'll be like, oh, he didn't score or whatever. But I do think him getting targeted underneath, really good sign. Okay. Yep. Let's talk about it. Well, what I'll say is that the Jets were the Jets. Even last week when Justin Fields, coming off a really brilliant performance, and the Jets looked like they were hitting all cylinders, and they come back and they gave us a performance. Looked like the shitty ass Jets of all. So it is what it is. These games are going to happen. You just can't allow this to happen too many times. The problem I had after the post game was Aaron Glenn starting to sound like Aaron Rodgers when Aaron Rodgers was saying, we didn't have the team prepared. It's like, how the fuck don't you have the team prepared? Seriously. This is the NFL. How'd you not have the team prepared? So I don't like to hear that because it's like that's just a poor ass excuse in my opinion. So that's just where it is. Buffalo came out and kicked us in the nads so many times, but we shot ourselves in the foot too many times with penalties. So that's just what it is. You can't go out there and be undisciplined and stuff like that. And then the problem, I'm not gonna say a problem, but a trend I'm starting to notice is that there are certain quarterbacks I feel are just getting a little bit more love than others in terms of getting hit after plays. I see Justin Fields. There was a couple times in this game, however, I thought it led to his concussion. Was that they're not throwing the flag on plays that you're getting hit, whatever, stuff like that. Like for instance, like we saw earlier with the Colts game, it's like even though it's against the rules, whatever, hit the long snapper, guy taps him on the back and then jumps. It's like, oh no, 15-yard penalty. So it's like with the protecting quarterbacks and stuff, I feel like it's definitely at times like you're kind of threading the needle on what you're kind of allowing, what you're not allowing. So I know it's tough today to be a defender than ever before. So I'm not saying that this defender, that. I just think it's more on the refs to dictate how they want to kind of do that play by play. But yeah.
The Jets suck. The Jets suck, and I played Breece Hall and Justin Fields, and I tried last night from 10 o'clock p.m. to midnight to 5 o'clock this morning to kickoff to try to move off of those 2 guys, and I couldn't convince myself to move off of them because I said, you know what? I think that, and that was my problem right there. Had a great lineup. Rome Odunze, Jamar Chase, Cedric Tillman, Juwan Johnson,
I remember you said it.
Alvin Kamara, right, had a great line, just beautiful. And then
if you got a little cute at the quarterback position.
I did not get cute. This is like Justin Fields has always been a really good fantasy option, except for the day that I select him. So, so I'm not even going to spend any time on that, because the reason why I thought he looked so good was because last week he played against a $200 million defense, and they don't even have a D. The Pittsburgh Steelers. Awful. Terrible. I don't even know, like they cannot stop the run. They cannot stop the run. I repeat, they cannot stop the run. And if you can't stop the run, it's only a matter of time before you get hit with play action. And guess what? That happened today. It happened today. Like, I'm so disappointed with these guys defensively. I don't even know where to start, man. I could start with coaching. I could start with scheme. I could start, and then the other thing too was injuries was just ridiculous. I know there are a lot of guys. Right? Yeah. Who else? There's nobody else in the NFL that has a $200 million defense. Just us. That's it. That's it. Just us. And then I just keep thinking about, man, is it going to suck when we had to play the Baltimore Ravens and Derrick Henry? Golly.
Unless you're playing them today in most part.
Man, what are you talking about, man? We ain't that lucky.
Well, Derrick Henry didn't have a Derrick Henry performance today.
Man, listen, right now, bro, the Cleveland Browns run defense is better than the Pittsburgh Steelers run defense right now. I'll take their defense right now. I ain't even trying. I'm not even being dramatic. I'm not even being funny. The Browns' problem is they can't score, but they at least make people work. The Pittsburgh Steelers, they just give you a quick little wink and say, "Follow me." That's what they do, and they just that's what they do. That's what's happening right now on defense. So Jaylen Warren showed up today on the offensive side of the ball. I thought DK Metcalf had his moments.
Yeah, he scored a touchdown against his former team.
Yeah, I mean, and Aaron Rodgers again, like, you know, you got to expect.
Playing to get another passing touchdown today, like.
Yeah, I mean, you got to expect. But you got to expect what you expect from a 40-year-old quarterback, man.
Like, it is. Don't forget about our guy Caleb Johnson. I don't think he's ever going to see the field.
Listen, you know what? He was a preseason my guy. I disown him now. I don't want nothing to do with him. He's getting ready to go into the Pittsburgh Steelers Hall of he's getting ready to go into Pittsburgh Steelers Hall of Shame, like guys like Lyman Swede and them type of guys. Man, that's where he's trending towards right now. So
no.
Anytime you get beat out by Kenny Gainwell, man, like so goodness. I'm gonna stop. So I'm not even gonna go there. And I'm just gonna say we talked about don't want to have to what this looks like playing against Derrick Henry.
Dang. That's rough.
I'll let you have this one here because I could keep going on and on, and I don't want to keep going on and on unless you want me to, and I'll keep going on and on. But
state your case. I mean, look, the Ravens came, and it was a back and forth battle for a little while. Literally, it was like a 10-3 game for a while. Cleveland was giving them the business. They shut down Derrick Henry today, and I was pretty shocked by that. I'm really shocked by that. Don't get me wrong. Division game, we know it's coming to stand the third. The problem I had was like, dang, like, yo, like, what Derrick Henry finished with carries? Like 10 carries or something? They didn't feed him like at all. I was like, what?
He had
11 carries. 11 carries, 23 yards.
This was his 23 yards on 11 carries. His worst game as a Baltimore Raven.
Yeah, literally.
-1 yard before contact, hit behind the line of scrimmage on 8 of 11 attempts. The Browns defense has allowed -48 rushing yards before contact this season. That is the fewest in the NFL, which goes back to my point. I would take the Cleveland Browns defense right now over the Pittsburgh Steelers defense.
That's fine. I get it. But yeah, Lamar Jackson cooked in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Came out and just did Lamar Jackson things and just took the game by the throat. Finished with 9 for 29, 4 touchdowns through the air, and 13 yards rushing. So, it was just, sometimes it's like pick your poison. Is it Lamar going to pick you apart, or is it going to be Derrick Henry? So it's it's just one of those things. The Browns, like I said, they hung around for a while. That 12.5 looked good, and then all of a sudden, Lamar put the stomp on him. So, and that's what it was. So, yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, obviously, better day for Derrick Henry. And, hey, I would definitely just throw some requests for Derrick Henry.
Here we go.
In general, you know what I'm saying? Just be, hey, like, yeah, what do you want for him? It's 3rd, you know? But, yeah, QB duel, right? Back and forth QB duel we had. What do you have to say when it comes to
Denver? Denver and the Colts. Yeah.
I know. Vanilla Vic gets it done again. Gets it done again.
That was the shocker of the day for me, man. I think the Colts are for real. They're for real. It's actually you'll love this. Actually, I have a side piece. I have a parlay cooked up that actually has the only problem with the parlay is that I have the Jets to win the division inside of this parlay, but I have I think it's the Jets, the Texans, and I have the Steelers. So both, so that's probably the other problem was $1 to win 30,000. So that's probably why. But yeah, man, Daniel Jones.
Only week 2, but
no, that is after this week. That is eliminated from my vocabulary because we are in fantasy football season now. There is no more. This is the last wheel of the training wheel. You get two training wheels, and now the wheels. Yep, the wheels are off now. I talked about it, man. I said JT had a big game against the Broncos last year, and the Broncos, and
he played today for sure.
And he balled out. So far RB1 for the week so far.
JT, man, out here work.
And
in the receiving game too. So that's something that that's something that, it's good to see because there was definitely a bit of a question of was he going to be utilized that way as full featured back because people talked about Giddens and stuff like that, and I think he's a solid, talent in the next couple of years, but it's still the Jonathan Taylor show by a country mile. So that's what I'll say about that. But yeah, I mean, look, the Colts, I would say it was first of all, it was initially a 60-yard field goal. Until the roughing of the long snapper, it got 15 yards. Yeah, 15 yards. Okay, so he kicked the 45-yarder. He kicked with ease. I believe he's a second-year guy at Notre Dame, the kicker, Spencer. What's his name? Spencer.
Don't know.
Schrader. Schrader. He kicked out of Notre Dame. But anyway, but yeah, Bo Nix obviously looking better this week. So that was a good sign because there wasn't question marks about Bo Nix for me. It was just more about hey, man, you got to do better than 176 yards through the air. And 206 is decent, but he had 3 scores through the air. I think the Broncos did everything they could. Even Patrick Surtain left for this game for a little bit, so on the back end. But I will say that Denver's just got to beat. It is what it is. Daniel Jones, Vanilla Vic. Is that gonna be a thing?
Yeah, I mean it's a thing for me.
I'm not ready to say it. I didn't see one more week, but he did look good in terms of again, poise in the pocket. 67% completion percentage. The week prior, he had 75 completion percentage. So, I mean, look, I believed in Shane Steichen and the play caller, so that all came together today as well. So, yeah, which I mean, I want to temper expectations for one more week. If Daniel Jones can prove it to me, next week, where he gets the Titans, which again, the Titans, I feel like there's still a defense that can be sneaky. It's a division game, so they'll be on the road as well. So that'll be a game where, all right, let's see what Vanilla Vic's got.
Well, 71% completion percentage for the first 2 weeks. So, listen, I'm at a place where there's no more prove it to me. This is what we got here right in front of us. So, definitely wheels up for the Colts for me for sure.
Totally. Last 2, and the Cardinals, man, they literally escaped the Panthers. The Panthers were on the verge of potentially coming back in this one. Carolina, they were dead in the water in this game for the first half of the football game. Come back a little bit, and then The Cardinals score. Carolina gets an onside kick after they score.
First one in 89 attempts, by the way.
Crazy, yo. And new kickoff rules and stuff are starting, a smidgen and a change of it. So we had 2 of them today. So I mean, yeah, like wild. How the Arizona almost let them in. But from a fantasy perspective for both of these teams, where are we sitting? I know McMillan is someone that, I think we could start, really taking into account about where it is that we like about him. But I would say, like, the Cardinals, are we still believing in this Cardinals? Like, they're still a decent fantasy team and stuff like that. Like, McBride had a solid day. McConnor, we called on the show. He was like, anytime touchdown bet, scored. But as far as anything else in this offense, like, anything else to talk about really, or?
I think, like, with the Cardinals, man, I think, they're a sometimey team. Like, they've always been a sometimey team. Like, they're a better team at home than they are on the road for sure. And then, like, as far as, like, talking about, like, the pass catchers and stuff for the Panthers, that's a situation where, like, I need to see more of, because I'm not completely bought into the Arizona Cardinals defense, or even their team. I think, like, they're a fringe wild card team. That is what it is. But the Panthers, I think there's a lot more questions than there is answers in that space. But yeah, like, I mean, this is a spot where, like, if you're the Cardinals, man, like, you just got to put these guys away. Like, there's, I think it was 26-9 going into the fourth quarter at some point in time in the third quarter. Like, there's no reason why that game should have even gotten to that space. Trey McBride is always going to do Trey McBride things, finish the day as a top 5 tight end, which is no shock at all so far on the day. And then, like we talked about, James Conner, there's that. If you have Marvin Harrison Jr., still more concerns, more questions than answers in that space. But yeah, like, this was definitely this was a weird game for sure. But yeah, I mean, they came out on top, did the Cardinals, and I mean, Kyler is not. I mean, he doesn't even crack the list as far as the top 12 or top 15 tight end.
I hear that too. Hear that? I mean, Carolina will just Bryce Young. He's got to get it together. Still a little hope, I think, but time might be ticking. It could be ticking in a matter of weeks. Sunday night football matchup, we have the Falcons, Vikings. Falcons getting 3.5 going into Minnesota. The over under 44.5. I'm gonna take the Falcons as 3.5. No Van Ginkel, linebacker for the Vikings. No Darrisaw, again, for the Vikings. I do like McCarthy. I do think, Jay Jetta should have another decent game. And obviously no Addison because, he's suspended. So I think there's a good amount of pieces are missing. Also, no Harrison Smith, again, for the secondary. So give me Atlanta on the road. Penix is going to come out here. I feel like he should have a solid game, especially about some of those other pieces that the Vikings don't have. I think, KOC, Kevin O'Connell, should put up enough of a game plan to fight. But I just think the Falcons should be able to put enough of a game plan together to outduel Minnesota on the road. So give me the Falcons, the plus 3.5, and the over in this one, because I do think this game can go a bit more.
Yeah. Well, one of the things, man, for me is that, I'm definitely going to side on the Vikings there at home. They dropped a lot of, well, not dropped, but they got a lot of pressure last week on Caleb Williams on 34% of his dropbacks. They got that. And I think Michael Penix is not as mobile as Caleb Williams. So I think that's one of the things, like, we'll see. That's just a tough place to play. Michael Penix, I'm not quite sure if he's ready yet to go on the road and do that. And then even as we looked at it last week, man, he was pressured last week. Michael Penix was pressured on 43% of his dropbacks last week. So I do like the Vikings in this game. I like their defense for sure. I think the evolution continues with JJ McCarthy. And who knows which running back we'll see tonight. Will it be Jordan Mason? Will that be the guy that pops off tonight, or will it be Aaron Jones? But I like the Vikings in this space, man. So give me the Vikings at home here on Sunday Night Football.
Cool. Props we got for this game. I got Drake London over 71.5 receiving yards. Jay Jetta over 77.5 receiving yards. Bijan Robinson, 25 plus receiving yards or more. Quick little parlay to get you a little money. These are the guys that should be getting the ball in this matchup. I think Jay Jetta is going to have a nice bounce back spot in terms of the usage goes, so he should have a decent game. And with Bijan Robinson, if you like the rush and the receiving, I wouldn't mind that line either. It's just more about, but because of this, the offensive line being already, hit with some injuries for Atlanta, I do think that they're going to be getting the ball out quickly out of Penix's hands. So that should, Bijan Robinson had a day for receiving last week. So we'll just have to see how it goes. But I will say that, I just believe that in terms of Atlanta, they should get the job done on the road. Sprinkle the money line, but I'll take the 3.5.
Fair enough. And if you are I'm playing a single game slate on DraftKings. So I think I have TJ Hawkinson in my MVP spot. Had a successful night with Tucker Kraft on Thursday night in the MVP spot. So I was able to take down one and finish second in another one. So I'm going to go back to the tight end again and see what that gets me to be able to fit all the pieces in there this week. So we'll see how it goes.
I don't mind that either. I don't mind Hawkinson. He burned me last week. Yeah. So I don't want to touch the stove again. Just keep it simple tonight.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna keep it simple. But that being said, we'll see you guys tomorrow. As we will dive into the waiver wire potential additions, as some sickos out there have set their waiver wires to Tuesday mornings now. I'm not calling out anyone that I do leagues with, but there's been some changes with that. But what I'll say also is that we'll be diving into that. We'll have some buy low guys that you can potentially target, some sell highs based on the last couple of weeks that we feel good about, don't feel good about, based on how their outlooks are. That being said, Johnny, any final thoughts for the people?
Ball out Sunday Night Football, man. Watch my boys, Jay Jetta and JJ, go out there and do their thing tonight, man. And good luck to you. And we got 2 games tomorrow, so looking forward to that as well.
Yep, sure. So definitely be here for the Monday Night Football matchups as well. So we'll see y'all. We out. Peace.